know that one of the best ways to create core and lasting memories for your kids is to cook or bake with them? So let me show you how to make these fun, Christmassy, soft and chewy cookies that you can make with your kids to keep them busy this holiday and Christmas period, and I'm very sure they're going to enjoy making and munching on these cookies. And who knows, this might quickly turn into a Christmas tradition. So now to bake the cookies, you're going to need some brown butter, and this is very easy to make. All you need to do is heat up 1 cup of butter on medium to low heat and continuously stir it until the color goes from this bright yellow to a light brown color. So this is what you want to achieve with the butter. You're going to take this off the heat immediately now and transfer into a heat safe container. Then you're going to allow this to cool down completely before using it. So once the butter has cooled down to room temperature, you're going to transfer it into a large enough bowl. Then add in ½ cup each of white and brown sugar. So I used the dark brown sugar here, but you can also use the light brown sugar. So mix this until the butter and sugar comes together. Then you want to add in 1 egg, and the egg should be at room temperature. You're also going to add in 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And now we are going to be doing a bit of an arm exercise. So you see, I'm not only teaching you how to bake these amazing cookies, I'm also helping you get your exercise in. So you want to mix this together until you have a slightly lighter color like this. And if you're baking with kids, I'm sure they're going to love this part and they'll be too excited to even notice the arm exercise. So once you're done creaming the butter and sugar, you're going to set that aside, then measure out some all-purpose flour. And be sure to sift the flour to avoid any lumps or dirt. And into that, you're going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking soda and not baking powder. And I also added about ¼ teaspoon of salt because the butter I used was just slightly salted. But if you're using salted butter, you can skip the salt. Then go ahead to mix this up properly so that the baking soda is evenly distributed. If not, your cookies will not rise evenly. And then you can go ahead to add the dry ingredients into the creamed butter and sugar. Then mix everything together again until you achieve this consistency. So if your dough is still a little bit sticky and it's not holding together properly like this, you can add in an extra 1 to 2 tablespoons of flour. So once you've mixed everything together, you're going to add in dark or semi-sweet chocolate chips. And to make the cookies more fun and Christmassy, I have some mixed Christmas sprinkles here. Add that in, and then you want to mix this until the chocolate chips and the sprinkles are well distributed. So if you've watched up until this point, thank you, and don't forget to like the video and also subscribe if you haven't. So next, we are going to go ahead to divide this into about 13 balls, and I'm going to be using a kitchen scale to weigh this to get more even balls, but you can just totally eyeball it. But if you're going to be baking this with kids, I strongly recommend that you use some kitchen scale. And this is just to avoid the chaos of whose cookie is bigger before your house turns into a battleground. If you know, you know. So go ahead to form into a ball and just lightly and gently press this down a little bit. Then top it with more of the Christmas sprinkles. And now here comes the hardest part. You have to cover this with a cling film and allow it to rest in your fridge for at least 1 day. Because if you go ahead to bake this now, it's going to spread too much and it wouldn't hold its shape. And the cookies also taste better if you allow them to rest in the fridge. And something I like to do is to just have some cookie dough in the freezer. So I pack them in a Ziploc bag like this and just remove as much air as possible from the bag. And you can do this by closing up the Ziploc bag and leaving just a little space for a straw. Then use the straw to suck out all the air from the Ziploc bag before closing it completely. That way the cookies stay fresh and they don't get any freezer burn. And when you're ready to bake them, just take them out of the freezer and bake from frozen. There's no need to thaw the cookies before baking, and that way you can have freshly baked cookies anytime you want them. So it's the next day now. Well, actually the second day, because I like to let this rest in the fridge for 2 days. I'm going to take out the cookies that I kept in the fridge and place this on a baking tray lined with parchment paper and then bake it. So before taking the cookies out of the fridge, you want to start preheating your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and that's about 350 degrees in Fahrenheit. So go ahead and bake this for about 9 to 10 minutes. So if you're baking the cookies from frozen, you can add about 4 to 5 extra minutes. So after about 10 minutes, the cookies are ready and out of the oven, and this is what you want them to look like. So the edges should be slightly golden like this, but the center should still be a little bit gooey and soft to touch, because if you overbake the cookies, they are going to lose moisture and become hard and dry instead of soft and chewy. So if you want a more round and even edges to the cookies, immediately they come out of the oven, you want to just use a round object to shape them up. So you can use a cookie cutter to do this, but the one I had was too small for the cookies, so I just used a round cup. So you want to allow this to cool down on the baking tray for about 5 minutes before taking them out and allowing it to cool down completely on a cooling rack. And just look at how fun, Christmassy and beautiful these cookies look. They tasted really good too, and the whole house smells like a bakery. So if you give this recipe a try, let me know how you get on with it, and I will see you in the next one.